The other day I was messing around in the studio and I came up with this beat that I think sounds really cool and it's got like this really nice emotional vibe to it. At the moment it's pretty much just a 4-bar loop. So I'm hoping in this video I'll just kind of load up the session and I'll work on it and bring you guys along for the ride, and hopefully we'll turn it into something that resembles a bit more of a full track. So let's jump into FL Studio and let's just get into this session. Yeah, this is the track at the moment. I've got a bunch of different piano layers in my pattern, and I've got 3 different guitar layers here. Got some live bass that I recorded in. I've really been loving the sound of like recording in my own live bass. And then I've got a really simple drum pattern. I'm liking the way it's sounding just to start with. Really love the kind of overall vibe. I love the like emotion that it's giving already. I really want to kind of just focus in on that, and that's something that I've been working on loads at the moment, is just kind of pouring emotion into my track. I find that my best tracks and the ones that I'm really happy with, say like all the tracks on my album, were ones that were really driven by emotion rather than just by the sounds that I'm working with. These are tracks that are really driven by like what I'm thinking about and how I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to do the same and focus on that in this track here. So I did write this guitar melody, but I'm really not sure about it, but we'll leave it in as a placeholder for now, and maybe we'll record something else or scrap it a bit further down the line. Now I'm listening to it again, I think I'm probably going to scrap it, but we'll leave it in for now. So yeah, let's try and think about how we're going to turn this into a full song. And usually this is where I start my tracks with like some sort of loop, whether that's 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars. I usually craft as many layers as I can kind of outpour in one session. What I tend to do from there is either save the file and like walk away and come back to it another time, or you know, if I'm really feeling it, I will sit and just kind of keep working in one session. But you know, I do want to expand on this, so let's kind of try and think about how to do that the best. I always think a good place to start is like with an intro, because this obviously isn't going to be like how the track starts. So I want to try and think about like how to start the track. I'm going to grab my whole pattern here and just drag it along, so give myself maybe 8 bars to start with, and then let's copy over our pattern. What I'm going to do now is just make this pattern unique, so I've still got all like the core elements from that pattern. And what this means is that I can edit everything that's in here and it won't edit what I've already got in that pattern one. I think what I really want to do here is like grab my chords and like drag them out, and I might actually change what's going on with the chords here. So because at the moment these chords are quite like fast moving, and I want to have this like slow build up intro. So I actually think I want to like rip out maybe this middle chord in both cases, and then maybe we'll drag this out. I think I want to go longer. Let's do 2 bars for that first chord. You're probably not even really going to hear this first chord because I'm going to like fade it in anyway. And I think I might actually swap those 2 chords around. So let's play around with kind of that ordering. Now let's go back into that first chord. At this point, let's start kind of adding a bit more movement into them. Maybe we'll bring one of these A's back in. Right, so I've got this 8-bar piano progression, and all the other parts of my pattern are 8 bars, so let's just extend those out and then take a listen to how it all sounds. So with all that together, we've now got this like 8-bar intro. Let's start bringing in a guitar up, maybe something like this. I've just taken those hats out, and I actually really like it without the hats at all. Maybe instead of a guitar melody, thinking I might actually just add some piano melody. So let's add another layer of piano and let's run that straight into the mixer. And then let's wash it out. Let's put some reverb on there. There it is. We're back. Shout out the revert to last backup option, FL Studio, but we did lose that piano melody that we're working on. So let's try this again. I think I can remember pretty much what I'd added. All right, so I think it's about time we extend this melody into an 8-bar melody. And so I'm going to do that by splitting my channel so I get all my separate stems, and then let's get organized here. So let's drag all those over, and then we can start working on our extending this melody to 8 bars. I'm just going to do the same with my intro pattern as well. We'll do it in the second half is that adding some extra notes, moving notes around, kind of making it a little bit different. So it's pretty much the same pattern. We've just tweaked it ever so slightly, and it just kind of gives it a different feeling. I do think I might drop these down as well. Drop the velocities on those a bit harsh. So now we've got like pretty much an intro, 8-bar intro, and then an 8-bar kind of main section. At this point, we want to start changing it up a little bit because not too much has differed here. So we're going to introduce another section, but in this section, what we're going to do is start taking things out and maybe adding some new stuff in, but we have got quite a few layers here. So I don't actually know if we'll need to add in anything new to it. So let's think about what do we want to carry over into the next section. Let's take our drone over. That's giving us like a bit of background ambience. Maybe we'll keep this Imagiro piano. And we probably need some chords, but let's maybe bring our intro chords back in at this point. Feels like it needs a little something more. Maybe not this piano melody because that's quite like prominent here. I say what we could do is if we grab this Imagiro piano, we make it unique, and then let's clone it. This time what we're going to do is put it into its own channel. We'll take the same notes, put them into there. So this time what you'll get is process that a little bit. It's a little bit too harsh still. Let's maybe radio frequency it. A bit of reverb on that. So I'm thinking about here is like different sections of the track and how it's moving. So we've got our first intro there, that's our first 8 bars. Then we've got our first main kind of hook or the main section of the track, that's another 8 bars. And then what we've got here is another 8 bars, and that's going to work as sort of like a bridge. So we've got the drums have gone out, the bass has gone out, we've lost a couple of guitar parts. We've just got this kind of guitar pad in the background here, and that fades out by the time you get 4 bars into this bridge, along with that kind of synthy piano section that we've got here, but actually might duplicate that there. And then once that ends, or a bunch of stuff comes back in. And I don't know whether to use my intro chords for this next section or go back to my original chords. Let's try it out with the intro chords. So bring all of our guitars back in, all of our bass and our drums. That piano art, that's exactly the same as the piano art that we've been playing, just processed in a different way. It almost works as like another melody, a little like background counter melody. So maybe at this point, instead of bringing everything in, let's cut some of the drums out. And I mean, it really feels like it needs another melody on top of that, and it could be a bit longer. So let's duplicate and go back to our original chords. I am thinking about the length of this song. I don't want to make it too much longer. Let's do another 8 bars, takes us just over the 2-minute mark. And then for those final 8 bars, we'll take out that Imagero piano section and let's put all of our bass and drums back in. We'll take a guitar out, thinking about this being the outro of our song. So let's start breaking it down a bit. Let's take the piano out, we'll take that guitar out, and then let's kind of fade these two out as well. We'll have this having a bit of a longer fade. I feel like this section really does need like a guitar or something, but for now let's just chuck in that piano melody. We'll do 4 bars with the piano art playing, and then we'll bring our piano melody in right about there. But they don't really work well together, so we can't bring in that piano melody there. Perhaps we'll bring that in at the very end for the outro. All we need to do now is go away, record a guitar melody, and I got that guitar melody that I recorded earlier, so let's drag that in here and see how well that fits in the mix now. Do a bit of processing on that guitar. And I tell you, I'm actually really happy with how this has come out. It's probably taken me about an hour there, and we've gone from our original loop, which sounded something like this, to a full track with multiple different melodies. We've got an intro, we've got a bridge, we've got a second hook with like a different melody and a different kind of feeling to it, and then an outro. There's more to be done to this track. I'm going to work on some automations. I'll probably add some extra like little bits of ear candy to the track to finish it. But I mean, just like that, we've gone from a loop into like a really nice emotional lo-fi beat, and I'm super happy with how that's gone together. Now, I did run a poll on my YouTube channel asking you guys what video you wanted to see this week. Taking a beat from a loop into a full song was the video that got voted for. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, then you'll be able to vote in the polls that I'm running in the future. I try to run one every month, get a grasp on the videos that you guys want to see, and YouTube is telling me that over 50% of you guys that are watching aren't subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out as a creator and helps me make these videos for you guys and know what you want to see. If you like this video and you want to see my favorite plugins that I use in all of my tracks, click on the video that is on the screen right now. You can go and watch that one after this one.